Welcome to SDH's coverage of everything going on in the NPSL. Time for the regional finals, and we will get you as prepped as we possibly can for that. We'll go over what happened in the regional semis, get you ready for the regional finals, and we'll catch up with a couple of folks. We'll start things off once again. No dilly, no dally zone. We're not messing around. In the West region, two teams qualified. It was the Golden Gate Conference champ and the Southwest Conference champ. They are playing Saturday. El Farolito is hosting FC Arizona in that one. El Farolito, we know in years past how they have made inroads in other tournaments. They've made deep runs. It's a chance for them to do so in the NPSL tournament in the West Regional Final. Midwest region, in the semifinal back on Wednesday. Number 2 seed Des Moines United out of the Gateway hosted number 3 seed Duluth FC out of the North. Winners in that one, Duluth FC, by the final of 2-0. So that means that Duluth FC got to turn around and get on a bus, drive 12 hours to go take on Steel City FC, the Great Lakes champ, this weekend in Pennsylvania. SDH Network caught up with John Shuster, part owner of Duluth FC, and got his thoughts on what happened in the win in Des Moines and how folks were getting to Pennsylvania and what the season's like, because Shuey said, he admitted as much, if they won against Des Moines, he was coming back on the morning show. He came back on the morning show on Friday. Here's our conversation. So I start one thing, and knowing that somebody was going to crash the party, I knew he was going to crash the party. All right, let me go to Shuey. So where exactly are you?
I'm at home for now.
All right, so what was the deciding factor? Are you flying? Are you driving? What's the deal?
The team is on a bus, and I believe they're waking up this morning in Dublin, Ohio, and making the rest of the way to Pittsburgh. And I'm flying out tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
Okay, just because I know that was a concern about having to figure out, okay, we win in Des Moines, and we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
So you win in Des Moines. You tried to figure it out. How long did it take you to figure out, okay, we just need to get them on a bus and get them out of here, and then we'll figure out the rest as we go?
We pretty much decided when they left that they were just going to take the bus the whole way. So, and I mean, it's yeah. I just encouraged the guys. I went there and I was like, here's the deal. You're never going to forget about this. Like, you go and get a big win down in Des Moines. If you guys can pull that off, hop on the bus. Like, the team's such a family. I mean, they really come together in that aspect. So I think, whether it's 2 days or 3 days of travel, whatever it is. But I mean, it was only 12 hours of driving. Okay. So it's just a little breakup in 2 days. So yeah, I hope they played some Cards Against Humanity and had some fun on the bus, and we going to make sure we fed them good all week. So yeah, whatever.
Okay, so break down the win for me. I was keeping an eye on social media where you got to catch up with some old friends and things like that, folks that you hadn't seen in a long time. Break down the win for me, and what did you see from an owner's perspective about the guys that were playing for a living?
It was really just a great soccer game. We managed about a 15-foot storm there in the first half from the Iowa Demon Hawks. So they're a really well put together team, to be honest. And we had a few chances that didn't kind of come to fruition in the first half. It could have maybe got a goal either way, and it went 0-0 to half. And second half came out, and yeah, we missed a grade A chance, just about a foot wide. And then our guy who was in the golden boot running had another grade A chance on his foot, and he put her off the post. And then finally, we busted them. That they kind of had their left back get a little bit dinged up with a hamstring, and we kept picking on him with our right forward. And Liam finally got around him and put a good shot in there and then actually, you need to find the highlight reel from our second goal. My wife's I'll get it on social media, but with probably, I think, like in the 80th minute, ball got centered to one of our guys who had two defenders, and he clipped the ball up to himself and scissor kicked it in the side of the net. It was fantastic. So
so is there an ISO on you at this particular moment? Does someone have a camera on you, or they shoot?
No. all I'm doing in the stands is, and our coach does soccer coaching, and I'm really loud, as you probably can tell even from here.
What?
Just from what I do for a living, but but for me, it's the thing that I preach to all the players, and I know all these guys personally. I'm an owner, but also try to be a mentor to all these guys, and for me is just reminding them to work, like in the stands, and when they do something great is to give them an extra. Our goalie actually made a couple great saves during the game, and he's at the far end, and I'm yelling, great stop, Jamie. So that's like 3 clean sheets in a row, and the guy started 1 game all year. So
when you need mentoring, who's on your speed dial?
my wife, my mom, and my sports psychologist.
Well, because
So,
I ask that because you have your reference points. You as a mentor to the players and to the team. That's why I wanted to ask. When it comes to you needing your mentoring and your advice, that you can there in turn continue to pass forward as an owner for a soccer club. That's why I was asking.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten my stuff, a lot of it. Like I just learned over the years. I knew when I came into curling when I was young, that I wasn't going to be the best shooting person on earth. I'm very good. I'm very capable. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted my competitive advantage to be not making mistakes and trying to be mentally tough and growing over all these years. And so I kind of accumulated it. But I think my biggest chance at that growth was when Carly Anderson came on with Premier Sports Psychology, came on with USA Curling in 2015, and when we got back onto the national team, she became a sounding board to give me some tools and to also be a sounding board to make sure that I had what I was doing mentally was on the right track. And I think at the Olympics, when I finally turned it around, she was just most of the time was in the morning being like, I can't, this is where I'm at today. And she's like laughing and knowing it's going to happen. And so, but I can't, my wife and my mom though are my daily sounding boards. They're, constantly like there too. So
John Shuster, Grand Exalted Poobah, Duluth FC, as the team is on the road heading to Pennsylvania, and Shuey's going to catch a flight first thing in the morning to get out of MSP and get to Pittsburgh to try to be there in time for the match. And as I've told you, I said, this is off my shoulder. This is off my shoulder every single day here on the network, in the studio. Your Duluth FC scarf is right here. It is a touchstone for me every single morning. I can sit here and say that I have a place to mail things, and you have a place to mail things that I can go off in the studio. How proud are you of this group that has been assembled, and how proud are you of Duluth FC continuing to do what it's been doing over time?
Yeah, I'm incredibly proud. And last year when we had the year where we finished the year, the number 1 seed, where we just keep winning, we keep getting home games for playoffs. There's something to that, and have it end as tragically as it did, and the way that our entire team kind of came together. And there's enough players that felt like there was unfinished business, that there was never a doubt they were coming back this summer to to go after. And then they come in here and bing, bang, boom, we lose 3 games during the season, which, didn't happen until the end. And not that we lost at the beginning, but along the way. And it really just allowed for growth. And I talked to our coach a lot more than I used to. Him and I become like great friends in this too. And I think he realized, that I have some value in even being a sounding board for him. So, yeah. And that growth throughout the year, I'm so proud of where they got to, because I got him living with me too, and one of the leaders on the team that lives in my house, and same deal, is just trying to make sure that these guys realize that it's not going to matter until we get to playoffs. Like, let's just build and build and build, and getting to playoffs is job one, and then when you get to the trophy game, that's when you worry about winning trophies, because I think they came in here talking about trophies. And I said, hey, boys, we got to focus on the process here and let the results happen.
Owner, billeter, Grand Exalted Poobah of everything going on with Duluth FC. Duluth FC is the number 3 seed in the Midwest region. They are traveling to Pennsylvania to take on Steel City FC. They are the number 1 seed. It is tomorrow. Do you know what time kick time is tomorrow?
7 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, so 7 p.m. Eastern. Follow along on all the social medias and follow John on his, because I'm sure that other folks will be taking his phone away from him so they can post things and he can focus on the match.
Oh, no. My phone will be in my pocket because I'm going to be getting texts. I'm traveling out there, but I'm also going out there taking I get lots of miles for curling things. So I decided our general manager, our media guy get to both need to be there more than I do. I'm just the bonus. So
miles and points, brother. I know exactly what that is all about. If you would please, sir, be safe and get out there, and may the guys be safe and be healthy and have a fantastic match tomorrow. Thank you for crashing. As you well know, you have golden ticket status, and it doesn't matter when or where or how. If you want to come in and talk about anything from Minnesota United and your Loons and your new coach to what's going on with you to all of your stops on, you circle back after the weekend and we'll catch back up, and hopefully you'll still be rolling. But it's always great to see you, my friend. Be safe, get out there, and come up with a result on Saturday.
All right. Thanks, John. Thanks for having me, man.
All right. That's John Shuster. And that is that's part of the cool. I don't know. Is Schuster a trampled by turtles fan? Okay, so we'll have to ask this. All right, so let me shoot him an email real quick since he all right, so reply. How many people am I replying to here? No, Brett's been on the show. So I'm sitting here and eliminating folks, trying to figure out who I can talk to here. All right. So it's like when you hit reply all, yeah, let's say inquiring minds from the audience want to know if you're a trampled by turtles fan. If I could spell turtles fan. All right. Next up, South Region. Gulf Coast Sunshine champ, Heartland Lone Star, and Southeast Conference champs. They were in the semifinals at West Texas in Midland, Odessa. They beat OKC 1889 4-1. Hickory was hosting Columbus United FC. Columbus United turned around and won that one 3-2 at Lenore-Rhine in North Carolina. So it is West Texas FC in the Midland, Odessa area, hosting Columbus United in the South Region Final. We caught up with Columbus United head coach Brett Teach on the Friday morning show on the SDH network. His team was still stuck in the airport at the time that the interview happened, right after 9 o'clock Eastern time, because of everything that had happened with CrowdStrike and Microsoft and all that. They were stuck in the airport. So here's our conversation with Coach Teach about the game, about the win over Hickory, and hopefully getting out of town. We are tracking down, folks, and our first one that we're going to track down is I believe he's in the airport. Brett, where are you?
Yeah, I'm in the Atlanta airport. We are experiencing the nationwide outages.
Yep. So Columbus United right now is suffering through CrowdStrike and the delays that are happening. So he's at Hartsfield. And you're trying to get to Midland, Odessa, Texas area for West Texas. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. We fly into Houston, and then from there to Midland. We're supposed to land, mid to late afternoon out there.
Okay, how does this disrupt your plans and adjust it? How chaotic is this now because of this?
Well, we really don't know. We're supposedly boarding in about, but we really don't know what we're going to do. So we're hopeful that we'll get to board because our plane's here. Luckily, it was one that was in last night, so we haven't had to worry about the plane getting here.
All right, so before I get you back to your concourse and your gate so you can make your plane and get to Houston, tell me about the big win going to Hickory. What was it like? And this is what happens when an entire civilization is at the busiest airport on the planet and you're trying to talk to folks who are stuck because of CrowdStrike. There we go. Tell me about the win before you get out of here, Brett.
Yeah, it was a great game. I expected everything that happened. Basically, I knew it would come down to just moments. They're a very good team. They've done a great job with the crowd and things like that. They had over 4,000 at the game. And, it just came down to a moment, where, we went up a goal, they tied. We went up a second goal, they tied. And then, we happened to get the third one. They just ran out of time, so they couldn't tie us again. So it was a great match. I don't feel like either team lost. It just one team ran out of time. I think both teams competed really, really well, and I was impressed with the way their guys played and the way they carried themselves. And then after the match, the class with which their entire organization treated us and their fans were amazing. So It was a great game, but it's like I expected it to be, though.
All right. Like I said, I just wanted to have you in a couple of minutes, figure out where you were on your journey. Be safe, make CrowdStrike, help everybody out, and get you to Houston and get you to the matchup tomorrow against West Texas. Be safe. We'll catch up with you on the flip side. Thanks again for hopping in from Hartsfield.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too. Brett Teach, the head coach at Columbus United. And so that's kind of what we're looking at here. Brett is in the airport, and so that's where Columbus is right now. Columbus United is getting ready to get to West Texas. So you heard what Brett has to do. He and like 9 gazillion other folks are trying to get out of Hartsfield-Jackson. East region, 4 teams qualified: Keystone, East and West, Mid-Atlantic, and North Atlantic. Motown out of Keystone East shut out Virginia Dream 1-0. Westchester United lost to New York Shockers out of the North Atlantic 3-2. So that means that FC Motown out of Keystone East is hosting, and they are taking on New York Shockers out of the North Atlantic. Once again, that is on Saturday. So the 4 region champs will qualify. Matchups to be decided by the NPSL Board of Directors. Once each participating semifinalist is known, you end up with region winners going against one another, hosted by the team with the higher regular season points per game average. Semifinals on the 27th of July. National championship on August 3rd in the NPSL. If you are a fan of any of the clubs that have made their way into the regional finals, go watch the matches on Saturday, be a part of the process, and see these teams as they are trying to sprint to a championship in the NPSL. If you are out of market, still want to follow along on social media channels and find out if there are ways that matches might be both shown and heard and or followed. And if you are out of market and still want to follow, and if you're in market, still want to follow along, once again, just follow along on social media channels and platforms, and you can find out what's going on with the clubs that have made it to the regional finals here in the round of 8 in the NPSL. Thanks, as always, to the NPSL and all the clubs and all the teams, and for coaches that pick up phones in airports and owners that grab the invites before they head on planes first thing in the morning. Thanks once again to John Shuster, Duluth FC, and to Brett Teach, the head coach of Columbus United, as they're waiting for a plane. Hopefully everybody gets to their matchup safely. Matchups come off without a hitch. Everybody leaves healthy, and we find out who goes from the round of 8 to the round of 4 in the NPSL. For everybody here at SDH and the SDH Network, I'm just John. Thanks for hanging out with us for the NPSL preview. Play safe, everybody. Enjoy the games.